Now, our top story on breakfast, concerns mounting for a soldier from Brighton who's facing a lengthy jail sentence after pleading guilty to the theft of a rifle and ammunition. 36-year-old Harry Killick, suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, pleaded guilty to the offence last month. He was due to be sentenced today. Now that's been put back a week, and his family fearing for his future. Earlier, Linda, his sister, told me that they were trying to avoid prying too much into his PTSD symptoms for fears of making things even worse.
Since he's been in prison, we've tried not to talk about it too much, because obviously it's sort of his flashbacks and whatnot he's getting now, so we don't want him to try and relive it. But I know it was tough for him.
Bob Paxman from Midhurst is a former SAS soldier and the founder of the specialist charity talkingtominds.co.uk. Hello, Bob. Thanks for coming on. Good morning.
Good morning.
I mean, you've heard a little bit about what... do you think they're doing the right thing by not talking about those memories for fear of actually making it even worse?
Absolutely. This is where the system itself falls down, because they focus on the trauma. And to focus on the trauma, all you're going to do is re-traumatise somebody. So we've taken a different approach, which is focus on everything that's not the trauma, because the solution to the problem doesn't lie in the problem itself. It lies in everything that's not the problem.
That's interesting. Does that mean that some people can see horrific things in service and not get PTSD, and the reason is because they have a slightly different background to someone who does get affected? Is that it?
Not necessarily, no. One man's nightmare is another man's playground. So it's to do with the information that you take in at that particular point in time, based around some of the events, perhaps in childhood, when somebody was first experiencing certain significant emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, hate, anxiety, and some others. So it's not necessarily true.
Describe those night terrors. What's it like?
Well, being totally absorbed in a horrific dream, and waking up, dragging yourself back into the real world, if you like, but still holding on to aspects of that nightmare, those terrors. So you all of a sudden wake up and you're still in the dream, and it's very, very difficult to shake the dream off. And
for you, that also led to a suicide attempt, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And there's, if we're looking at suicides, the government have now, the MOD government have now turned around and said, since Afghanistan has started, that there's somewhere in the region of 50 suicides. On top of that, we're looking at another 200 that are inconclusive, and that doesn't include the chaps that have drunk themselves to death or death by misadventure. So there is a big problem out there.
Here's a man who pleaded guilty to stealing a rifle. He's on remand in jail. Do you think we're getting this right with the treatment of people like Harry, who clearly have gone off the rails?
No, I don't think we're getting the treatment right at all. There is no evidence to say that EMDR works, eye movement desensitisation reprocessing, or CBT. There are no recommendations in the NICE guidelines for complex, acute or severe PTSD. In the 2015 rewrite, our approach is being written into that, based around our evidence, and really, the authorities there should be looking at something that's different. They should be looking at different approaches to the medical model.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Bob, thank you very much indeed. Really appreciate your time. And if you want to find out more about the charity and the work that Bob's doing, Talking to Minds, then their website, talkingtominds.co.uk, sort of looking at PTSD from a different perspective. 90 minutes to 8 here at BBC Sussex.